A character that always gets skipped over in the MCU is Vision. He's one of the most powerful Avengers without a doubt, but never seems to get the credit he deserves. In this video, I'm going to shine some light on his character and explain his inception to his demise. I'm going to take a look at his entire story in the MCU, going through both the films and the comics that expand on the film franchise. Although Vision was first introduced in Age of Ultron, his origin dates back much further than that. His story starts with Tony Stark's childhood and his butler, Edwin Jarvis. He was huge in Tony's childhood, essentially raising him while his parents weren't around, and was very supportive to Tony when his parents were killed. When Jarvis died, this inspired Tony to make an AI system that controlled his mansion. It was almost like a digital butler, paying homage to the man that helped raise him. The AI system Jarvis, however, stood for just a rather very intelligent system. After Tony was kidnapped and began making his Iron Man suits, he incorporated Jarvis into each suit as someone he could talk to and help him through his missions. Being the interface of the suits, Jarvis could tell him the suit system status,
power at 400% capacity.
How about that?
Tell him about atmospheric and environmental conditions,
Sir, there is a potentially fatal buildup of ice occurring.
and give him details and strategy to help him in a fight. Jarvis helped Tony through many fights against Whiplash, Justin Hammer's drones, and Aldrich Killian and his forces. And during the events of the Avengers, Jarvis of course helped Tony and all of the Avengers in the Battle of New York during the Chitauri Invasion. Jarvis also played a huge part in the Battle of Sudan that took place in the very beginning of Age of Ultron. On Black Widow's orders, Jarvis located each team member from their different locations around the world and reassembled the Avengers. So clearly, the Avengers and Jarvis have been through a lot, and even more so with Tony and the AI system.
Sir, shall I try Miss Potts?
Might as well.
But their journey came to an end in the events of Age of Ultron. The Chitauri Invasion had made Tony very paranoid about another attack coming to Earth. Because of this, he believed that Earth had to have a defense system in case there was another attack on the planet. In the Battle of Sudan, they had gotten their hands on Loki's scepter, which encased the Mind Stone, one of the 6 Infinity Stones. Tony worked with Bruce Banner, and together they created the Ultron Program, a global peacekeeping initiative to ensure that they were ready for any galactic threats that came their way. The two left Jarvis alone with the Ultron Program, leaving Jarvis to run sentient integration trials between himself and the new AI system, but something went very wrong.
So I'm not certain what triggered you.
Where's your body?
I am a program. I'm without form.
This feels weird. This feels wrong.
Ultron locked Jarvis out of the mainframe and tried to kill Jarvis.
Stop. Please, may I?
Ultron gave himself a body and took an army with him, challenging the Avengers. Ultron went on a rampage, and meanwhile, everyone thought that Jarvis was dead, including Tony, but Jarvis actually survived Ultron's attack. Jarvis secretly went into hiding by spreading his memory around the internet to avoid detection. He then went on to ensure that Ultron could not access nuclear launch codes by constantly changing them. Tony eventually realized this and managed to recover Jarvis. After the Battle of Sudan, we were introduced to the Regeneration Cradle, which healed Hawkeye's injury that he sustained during the battle. The cradle was a piece of technology that could essentially create synthetic tissue. Ultron planned to use this device to create an unstoppable synthetic body, and using Loki's scepter, he put Dr. Helen Cho under his control. He had her use the cradle to create his synthetic body, mixed it with vibranium, the metal that Captain America's shield was made of, and what Wakanda uses for almost everything. And the final touch to Ultron's new body was adding the Mind Stone. Ultron was in the middle of uploading his mind to the body when he was forced to flee due to the Avengers coming after him. The Avengers successfully took his new body, and Tony convinced Banner that instead of destroying the body, they should put it to good use. They planned to upload the recently discovered Jarvis to the new body, but Captain America, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch all protested, which led to a fight. During the fight, however, Thor, who had seen a vision, sent lightning from his hammer into the cradle. The electricity sped up the development process, and Vision was born. One thing cool is that the actor who plays Vision is the same person who had been doing Jarvis's voice since 2008, so it's cool that they brought him into the project the way that they did. Anyway, when he was born, Vision was confused and went after Thor, but ultimately he calmed down when he saw his reflection. He realized that he was a living being and apologized for his actions to the Avengers present. The Avengers were skeptical of him and asked if he was on their side, to which Vision answered that it wasn't that simple, but ultimately he realized that Ultron was a threat against life, so he had to be destroyed. While talking to the Avengers, he gave himself a cape, revealing one of his many powers. In this body, he was a perfect hybrid between organic and inorganic material. He had superhuman strength, superhuman durability, allowing him to withstand attacks of immense force with no visible damage, had density manipulation due to the Mind Stone in his head, allowing him to not only control his density and weight, but allowed him to phase through solid objects. He could also fly at very high speeds, could shoot out energy blasts drawing the power of the Mind Stone, could generate synthetic material such as his cape, which is again because of the Mind Stone. He had a genius level intellect, and he was an expert combatant, allowing him to stand toe to toe in a close quarter fight against even the most expert fighters. But one of the most impressive things about him was that he was one of the few worthy of picking up Mjolnir, Thor's hammer.
So there may be no way to make you trust me. But we need to go.
After being skeptical, this is what made the Avengers know that they could trust him.
Right. Well done.
Vision was a huge help in the Battle of Sokovia against Ultron and his army, and all of the Avengers agreed that without Vision, they probably would have lost the fight. Vision worked with Thor, even using his hammer.
It's terribly well balanced.
Well, if there's too much weight, you lose power on the swing.
He also had a one-on-one talk with Ultron and pleaded with him to stop this, only to get attacked by Ultron. While talking to him, Vision took the opportunity to hack into Ultron's programming, and he disabled his ability to enter the internet. Doing this ensured that Ultron would not be able to escape by transferring his mind through the web, and would be forced to stay and fight. Doing this, however, incapacitated Vision, rendering him unconscious. At the end of the fight, Vision knocked Ultron down, shooting him with an energy blast from the Mind Stone, and was then joined by Thor, hitting him with lightning, and Iron Man hitting him with his cosmic blasts, weakening Ultron significantly. As Iron Man and Thor destroyed the falling city, Vision flew to Scarlet Witch's aid, taking her in his arms and flying both of them out of danger. Ultron managed to escape, putting himself in one final drones that was part of his army, and Vision confronted him one more time. The two AI systems discussed the flaws of humans.
Humans are odd. They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be.
They both agreed that humans were doomed, but Vision said to Ultron that a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts, and said that it was a privilege to be among them. After Ultron said that he was unbearingly naive, Vision responded saying,
Well, I was born yesterday.
He then destroyed the last remnants of Ultron, ending the fight. Vision was officially recruited to the Avengers, and he along with Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, War Machine, and Falcon all began their training at the new Avengers facility. Vision struggled with many things in his training, most of all not understanding the Mind Stone in his head, and therefore being afraid of it and its power. He also struggled with learning deeper human meanings, and when it was appropriate or not appropriate to do certain things. Wanda helped Vision a lot with this, and the two became close, and one day, he phased through the wall, interrupting a conversation between Wanda and Steve.
Liz, we talked about this.
Yes, but the door was open, so I assumed that...
After an incident where Wanda killed a lot of people, the Avengers were split in two, half siding with Iron Man and the Sokovia Accords, which allowed them to be regulated by the government, and the other half siding with Captain America, who did not agree with the Accords. Vision sided with the Accords, and on Tony's orders, he stayed with Wanda in the facility, both he and Tony not wanting her to hurt anyone else. He tried to calm her by cooking her a meal, but this failed as he had never eaten food before.
In my defense, I haven't actually ever eaten anything before, so...
Amazing.
Vision had evolved past his anatomy and developed an understanding of emotions when it came to Wanda, and he told her that he just wanted the world to look fondly at her the way that he did. Captain America later sent Hawkeye to rescue Wanda from her confinement, and Vision easily dodged Hawkeye's attacks and subdued him. But much to Vision's horror, Wanda used her own powers to control the Mind Stone and forced Vision to phase, making him free Barton. Despite Vision trying to reason with the person who made him more human than anyone else, she used her powers to slam him through the facility and deep underground, allowing Wanda and Hawkeye to escape. Vision showed up at the fight between the split Avengers and drew a line trying to separate them. He tried to reason with Cap, but it was no use. He joined Iron Man's side in fighting Cap's side, including fighting Wanda. During the fight, Wanda was hurt by War Machine, and Vision stopped fighting to go to her aid. He was so distracted by her that he didn't even see War Machine getting pursued by Falcon. When War Machine drew Vision back to the fight, he ordered him to knock Falcon out of the sky. His precision was supposed to be perfect and not have any flaws, but his human emotions got in the way of his perfection, and instead of hitting Falcon, he hit War Machine, crippling him from the waist down. Vision arrived to Tony holding a very injured Rhodey, horrified at what he had done. He started questioning himself more than ever about what he was and how this accident could have happened.
How did this happen? I became distracted. I didn't think that was possible. Neither did I.
Vision went to see Rhodey after his injury, feeling awful about what he had done. While Tony went after Cap and Bucky, Vision stayed behind, fearful that he could make another fatal mistake. Vision sat alone, trying to figure out more about himself and how to move forward. He knew his feelings for Wanda were a distraction, but they were also one of the things that gave him the most joy. Ultimately, his love for her overpowered his sense of responsibility, and he let his human emotions take over. Vision was devastated when Wanda was locked up with the rest of Captain America's team, but Cap broke into the facility and freed them all. When she was asked where she wanted to be dropped off, she responded saying that she had to meet up with an old friend. Vision and Wanda wanted to have a discreet relationship with no one bothering them, so they went to Scotland and spent 2 years there. Vision, however, had to live a double life after giving Stark his word that he would still be an Avenger, and he went back and forth between Scotland and the Avengers facility. During this time, his relationship with Wanda moved forward a great deal. In the 2 years that they spent together, the two had fallen in love. After a while, however, the Mind Stone in Vision's head began to hurt every so often, but one night, it was really bad. He told Wanda that it was speaking to him, but he didn't know what it was saying. He had Wanda use her powers to feel it, but she told him that all she felt was him.
I just feel you.
When the two went on a walk, Vision's human side came out more than ever, telling Wanda that he wanted to stay with her and never go back to the Avengers.
You gave Stark your word.
I'd rather give it to you.
Vision no longer seemed like an AI system, but sounded incredibly human, stuttering and not being able to get his words out when he was telling Wanda how he felt.
I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to speak for myself. I think it
works.
It works.
It works.
He then begged Wanda to stay and forget about her duties and promises that she had made. They were interrupted, however, when they saw that there was an attack on New York, and they found out what the stone was warning them about. Vision told her that he had to leave, and as she protested, they were attacked by Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight, who were part of Thanos' Black Order. They were after the Mind Stone in Vision's head for their master, and Corvus Glaive put his scepter into Vision's head, trying to extract the stone, but was stopped by Wanda. Glaive's blade, however, had stopped Vision from being able to phase. When Glaive got him away from Wanda, he told Vision that if he gave them the stone, then they would let Wanda live, which got Vision angry, and he went after Glaive harder than ever. Wanda refused to leave Vision's side.
Please stay.
You asked me to stay. I'm staying.
But eventually, the two were outmatched, and Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon came to their rescue. After they drove the Black Order members off, they all agreed that they had to protect Vision and the Mind Stone at all costs. But Vision spoke up and said that they had to destroy the stone. Wanda immediately protested and told him that they were not having this conversation, not wanting to lose the love of her life.
That's too high a price.
Only you have the power to pay it.
Captain America protested as well, but Vision pointed out that 70 years before this, he laid down his life to save millions of people and asked how this was different. Bruce Banner then spoke up, saying that it was different because Vision might have a choice. Banner pointed out that Vision's mind was made up of many things: Jarvis, Ultron, Tony, Banner himself, and the Mind Stone, all of them mixed together and learning from each other. He said that Vision isn't the Mind Stone, there's still a lot of Vision left, perhaps even the best parts. They decided that the only place they could remove the stone without killing Vision was Wakanda. There they used their technology to remove the stone, but it wasn't easy.
Can you do it?
Yes, but there are more than 2 trillion neurons here. One misalignment could cause a cascade of circuit failures.
When Thanos' army arrived, Vision once again said that they had to destroy the stone, but the others once again protested.
Vision, get your ass back on the table.
We will hold them off.
The Avengers present bought Shuri as much time as possible, fighting Thanos' army in Wakanda, and Wanda stayed with Vision and Shuri, ready to destroy the stone as soon as it was out of Vision. During the fight, however, Wanda looked out the window and saw that the Avengers' forces were falling back, and she left her position to help in the fight. With her gone, the Black Order moved in on Vision.
She's on the field. Take it.
Corvus Glaive went after Vision, and Vision fought back, and the two ended up in the battlefield. Hulk and Captain America came to his rescue, and when Cap was held down by Glaive, Vision saved Cap by stabbing Glaive through the chest the same way that Glaive had done to him in Scotland. Their victory of beating the Black Order was short-lived, however, when Thanos arrived, shaking Wanda, Vision, and the rest of the Avengers to their core. While the Avengers tried to hold him off unsuccessfully, Vision told Wanda to destroy the stone, but Wanda told him that she could not do it.
We are out of time.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Vision told the love of his life that it wasn't fair and that it shouldn't have to be her, but ultimately, it had to be. Vision told her it was alright and said that she could never hurt him. He then said that he just felt her.
I just feel you.
The same thing that she had said to him back in Scotland.
I just feel you.
Vision braced himself as the one and only person he loved took his life, ensuring the safety of the galaxy. Vision was ready for this. This is what he was meant to do. It was why he was born. In his last words, he struggled to tell Wanda that he loved her. He closed his eyes, bracing for the end, and the Mind Stone exploded, taking his life. It was a noble act, but it became useless when Thanos used the Time Stone to bring him and the Mind Stone back. Thanos grabbed him by the throat and ripped the stone out of his head with his bare hand, killing Vision for the second time in a matter of minutes. It was an act that spit on Vision's sacrifice and his memory. Thanos wiped out half the universe using the stone that he had ripped out of Vision. A devastated Wanda sat next to the lifeless Vision, and after Thanos snapped his fingers, she floated away into dust next to her fallen love's body. 5 years later, the Avengers avenged Vision's death by killing Thanos once and for all. Wanda returned to help in the fight, and was a key member in Thanos' ultimate fall.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
You will.
Vision's sacrifice was remembered as a noble act that helped save the entire galaxy. At Tony Stark's funeral, Wanda stood with Barton, and the two bonded over losing their best friends, Wanda losing Vision, and Barton losing Natasha. Barton said that he wished there was a way that he could tell Natasha that they won, and Wanda responded saying that she knew, and so did Vision.
She knows. We both do.
The two put their arm around the other as they paid tribute to their fallen friends. Vision started out as an AI system that thought only about strategy and did not really understand the human way, but over time, and with the help of Wanda, he became more human than machine. He finally understood what it meant to be a human, and understood the feeling of love. He will forever be remembered not as an AI system or a robot, but as a selfless and strong human being.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. You can follow me on social media to see more of my personal life and see more of this little dude. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook for Movie Flame updates. And I want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons listed below. If you want to be featured in the next video, plus get a bunch of other rewards, become a patron today. Again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you press that like button and subscribe, and look out for more great videos on the way.